Jim Thorpe is among the greatest athletes of all time. One major reason is his versatility. Whereas most athletes excel in only one sport, Thorpe dominated several, including track and field, basketball, and football. But Thorpe also played baseball, a sport that will have a profound effect on his life. Jim Thorpe was born on May 22, 1887, in the Sac and Fox Indian Territory near Prague, Oklahoma. His native name was Watho Huck, which meant bright path. In 1907, his athletic career began at the Carlisle Indian Industrial School's track and field team. However, even during that time, Thorpe was already exploring other sports such as football, lacrosse, and even ballroom dancing, where he won the Intercollegiate Championship. In 1909 and 1910, he also played semi-professional baseball, where he earned about $2 to $35 per week. But it was in football where he first rose to national prominence. He played several positions: running back, defensive back, place kicker, and punter. He led Carlisle to the national championship. In 1911 and 1912, he was named a consensus first-team All-American. In 1912, he also began training for the Stockholm Olympics. Given his versatility as an athlete, he competed in the multidiscipline competitions, pentathlon and decathlon. Thorpe dominated the games and won gold in both events. He also placed fourth in the high jump. While in the Olympics, Thorpe also played 2 baseball games, which was then an exhibition sport. As the world would know later, Thorpe had some experience in the sport. After the Olympics, Thorpe arrived to a hero's welcome and was called the greatest athlete in the world. The following year, things changed. A newspaper wrote that Thorpe had played semi-professional baseball, which violated the period's strict amateur rules. While playing semi-pro ball was a common practice among college players, almost everyone else used aliases when playing. Thorpe, however, used his real name. Soon there were complaints against him, but it appeared his Olympic feats were safe. The Olympic rules clearly stated that protests could only be accommodated 30 days after the closing ceremony. Still, 6 months after the Games, the committee accepted the complaints and stripped him of his medals. But while he lost his amateur status, offers to play professional sports soon followed. In 1913, he turned down an offer for a starting position for the St. Louis Browns, which just finished in the bottom of the American League. Instead, he signed as a backup player with the defending National League champions, the New York Giants. Even though the Giants won the pennant again, Thorpe's rookie season with the Giants was unspectacular. In 19 games, he batted .143 with 1 home run and 2 RBIs. He also ended the season with a negative .0.4 WAR. In the World Series, the Giants faced the juggernaut Philadelphia Athletics. The Athletics had Chief Bender, probably the greatest Native American baseball player of all time. Unfortunately, the Giants lost and Thorpe did not have a single at-bat in the series. Still, after the series, the Giants and the Athletics went on a world tour where Jim Thorpe was the star and main attraction. In London, they played in front of a crowd of 20,000, which included the King. In 1914 and 1915, Thorpe continued to be a part-time player for the Giants. He played a combined 47 games with 4 doubles, 3 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, and a batting average of .217. He also had a negative .0.4 WAR. In 1916, he played with the Milwaukee Brewers, which was then a minor league team. The following year, he returned to the Giants, but mid-season, they sold his contract to the Cincinnati Reds. While with the Reds, Thorpe was part of a unique chapter in baseball history, the famous double no-hitter game. In a game against Chicago, both starting pitchers pitched no-hitters for 9 innings. In the 10th inning, Thorpe drove in the winning run. Later in the season, the Reds sold his contract back to the Giants. Early the following season, he was traded to the Boston Braves. His season was modest, but arguably the best in his career. For the 1919 season, he played a combined 62 games, 7 doubles, 3 triples, 1 home run, and batted .327. While Thorpe had Hall of Fame credentials in other sports, and while he continued to be a huge attraction, his baseball career was below average. He finished with a negative .1.3 WAR with the Giants and a negative .0.1 WAR overall. He played in 289 games. Thorpe had 7 home runs, 20 doubles, 18 triples, 29 stolen bases, and a batting average of .252. By 1920, he was out of the majors. though he continued playing in the minors until 1922. Incredibly, Thorpe played professional baseball and football at the same time. He played with the Canton Bulldogs and won championships in 1916, 1917, and 1919. He continued playing professional football until he was 41 years old. Also, overlapping with his football career was professional basketball. He was part of the basketball team called the world-famous Indians, again with Thorpe as the main attraction. They toured the States for over 2 years. It's incredible that Thorpe had much greater success in sports other than baseball. Maybe he didn't have enough focus, or maybe baseball was simply difficult for him. Still, Thorpe's legacy remains secure. In 1950, he was voted as the greatest athlete of the first half of the 20th century. The following year, he was inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame. In 1963, he was inducted in the inaugural class of the Professional Football Hall of Fame. 12 years later, he was inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame. As an ultimate measure of redemption, in 1982, the Olympics returned his medals and reinstated him as champion. The committee explained that the complaints and sanctions fell outside of the 30-day limit. Jim Thorpe died on March 28, 1953. He was 65. Thank you for watching. What could be the reason why Thorpe had more success in football and track compared to baseball? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. It helps immensely.